Hare Krishna. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will discuss Mars in the first house. We will discuss the secrets, karma and dharma of this position. I will soon post more videos for all planets and all signs. Until then, please keep supporting. Now let's begin. First, you can look at this position either from your Vedic rising chart, moon chart or sidereal chart. The first house is the beginning of the chart. The ascendant, how you project yourself to the masses, to the world, and how you are being perceived by others. Planets in the ascendant also show your mental and physical well-being, intelligence and overall outlook towards life. How you make decisions. For example, a Mercury placed in the first house will make you look younger than your age, quick thinker and a smooth talker, while a Mars will make you seem serious and competitive. Almost always your intentions might be misjudged. People might avoid you because they will assume that you are always ready for a fight, since it makes the physical body, personality and ego entirely aligned with Mars's core principles of action, aggression, courage and independence. This is great because not easily anyone would try to pick a fight with you. However, this will make your enemies attack you from the back or betrayals will be common. Wherever Mars sits, it will give you confidence. So technically, this position is good in itself since first house is personality and a good personality must possess good confidence. Now again, wherever Mars sits, it looks at three other houses since it has three aspects, the 4th, 7th and 8th houses. So to read a chart accurately, any planet in the houses which are aspected by another planet must be read in a sort of conjunction because it will produce similar results of an actual conjunction. For example, if Mars is in the first house and there is Ketu in the 4th, it will create a push and pull dynamic. While you will want a materialistic life, but you will extremely and constantly feel empty inside because of Ketu. You will either achieve everything in life or simply destroy everything or self-sabotage. Because Mars is in the first, so you may entirely put your energy out there in the world to build an image and achieve your worldly goals. But ultimately at home, you will always feel incompetent. You will always feel distress and a lack of peace as 4th house represents home, emotional security and motherly figures. Such people may feel like they are giving, but the warmth they expect from other people is never there. They have to soothe themselves on their own. They might get sudden injuries which they may not even know how they got, like some random cut or a burn or skin peeling, etc. Similarly, you can read other aspects also. If there is no planet in those houses, then only the aspect results are to be considered. From first house, the 4th aspect can give you properties. You can become rich from properties or through extending your home. But you may be dominating in your home because you would want everything to be your way and you would prefer rather independence in home situations. See, Mars in 1st, 2nd, 4th, 7th, 8th or 12th house definitely gives Manglik dosh. But the fact that the spouse dies comes from mythological stories and is not always true. To confirm death of spouse, one needs to see the Lord of the 7th house and the planets in it, in connection to Mars in the D1, D9 Navamsha and D60 also, checking exactly to make such strong predictions. The reality is, there will be conflicts around a Manglik person because their Mars is strong, so they would want their independence. They would have an opinion and may not succumb or agree to everything easily, which will create conflicts within marriage or just any family or workplace situation. But these can always be worked out once the individual understands the concept of compromise in their life or if they get the right partner. Now, if we look at most of the astrological channels or general readings, we are told about the outer aspects that everyone agrees with and which will be there when Mars is in the first house. But this position is psychologically very complex and spiritually very potent too. Because while everyone might see them as having good confidence, bold personality, they may have the fear of being invisible or overpowered. So they overcompensate with dominance because their identity feels vulnerable or they constantly are in survival mode or in fear of their position being taken away or being compromised. Therefore, they may have a fragile self-esteem, where a simple rejection or a no may fill you with a lot of anger, or you may secretly make a whole revenge plan or hold a grudge on a trivial matter. Now, since Mars is a cruel planet and is in Kujasthan, it requires physical and consistent effort to overcome the negative side of this planet. Now, what is Kujasthan? For now, in simple terms, Kujasthan are the houses where planets do not change their tendencies with time, like Upachya house, where with age and time planets start giving good results and stabilizes over time. Mars is naturally a Krur Graha, so it will stay like that only in this position. Hence, negative tendencies come along with it and in no time may take over or overpower the positive effects if not checked. That is why Mars in the first house may feel insecure While they are not actually in such a position, they may take action when not even needed. Therefore, it is important to look at actions and think of the consequences, if it is necessary to react or not. If you do not actively practice humility and physical discipline in your 20s, by your 40s, this Mars turns into a calcified, rigid ego. It is a must for you to consciously surrender something daily, even if it's just admitting you are wrong in a small argument, to keep this Mars youthful and positive. Mars rules the blood, the optic nerves, and the red pigment in your eyes. When placed in the first house, it physically activates the Agya Chakra, or the third eye, through intense blood flow to the forehead. So such people possess an uncanny, almost magical gut instinct about people the second they meet them. You can always read a room faster than anyone else. But the problem is, because Mars is impulsive, you may ignore your intuition. But if you pause and think for some time before making decisions or acting, your third eye will give you an exact and right way to move forward. Meditation is the best sort of sadhana for Mars in the first house. Because first, it will calm down your restlessness and gives you a rest from your survival tendencies. Second, it will develop trust within you and therefore around you. People trust you when you trust them. You cannot expect something from others which you do not already have in yourself. And lastly, it will activate your third eye. You are extremely potent in spirituality, but you do not know how. You can also meditate using japa beads, because your hands move on the beads and the trivial thoughts you collect, the resentment you collect from random interactions will simply fade away. The samskar chain will break when you do japa. Now, because Lord Kartikeya is the Adhidevta of Mars, who was also responsible to impart the knowledge of Om, the first cosmic syllable that represents eternal reality, the formless Brahman, to Lord Shiva, therefore, mantra chanting brings immense positive changes in your life. Another form of meditation which is good for you is guided meditation, where you have to imagine light going through your body parts towards your third eye. Continual practice of such sadhanas will benefit you in life in a lot of ways which you can't even imagine. Now, Mars in the first house aspects 7th house directly, which means a direct effect on people around you. In group settings, in workplaces, people will notice you and might downplay your achievements, your talents, and you may pick up a fight because of other people's projection onto you. People may unconsciously mirror you because you have magnetic blood vitality. The moment you enter some place, if your mood is good, you will see everyone around you also is having a great time. But sometimes you will notice that you have a bad mood and you enter somewhere and the people around you suddenly have the same demeanor as you. They will become quiet, they will become hesitant. So this means that your personality can lead other people in an invisible way. So this is actually kind of a power you have over others. So you have to really channel it positively. Now, same as when you enter a room of negative people. If you are able to change the mood of a whole room, that means you are subconsciously taking their negativity. You may take the lethargic or depressive energy of people around you, which will later make you feel depressive or in a pensive mood. Then you become erratic. This is because of your pran force, which is extremely energetic and attractive. Therefore, you need to keep an extreme check on who you are socializing with, your eating habits, and you should even avoid eating from other people's plates or sharing from their plate. Since you have high fire energy, naturally your pitta is also high. So having fiery, unregulated food with random people will disrupt your jataragni, which means your metabolic fire. Also, since there's a mirror effect when you meet people, in case you constantly are facing hatred or scheming in your personal or professional life, it is important to heal your inner self. You might deep down yourself are someone who schemes or hates something for no reason. Once you heal yourself, you will have enough positive energy to heal others too and yourself. Mars in the first house needs to exhaust themselves physically. The secret to unlocking your spiritual growth is doing exercise to the point you can't think. This sounds like an extreme advice, I know. But most problems will solve when you are tired from your body. You need to follow your plan, do your work till you are tired. Because if your body has energy left, you might put that into unnecessary things. But when you will be tired, you will naturally think about God. You will want peace rather than conflict. Mars in the LAGNA creates a Rakshogna, demon-destroying shield. The 8th aspect of Mars from first house means sudden life transformations and hidden enemies. Naturally, 8th house is Scorpio, so your enemies might not be visible to you and may attack you in a hidden manner. They may be your close ones or even close friends who you may not even think of as enemies. But this Mars in the first house gives you immense power to destroy such enemies, Nobody can shake your image or destroy you except you. You also have karmic immunity to sudden violent accidents and enemies as well. You may also notice that you give best results or produce your best work under immense pressure or near deadlines. It is because your adrenal system functions perfectly under pressure. You are naturally a born soldier reflecting the energy of Lord Kartikeya, who was created to defeat the invincible demons. So professions like soldier, army, naval officers are often suggested in general interpretations. But you can also be a good lawyer because you can debate with a lot of determination and conviction. You can also become a great sannyasi due to Kartikeya being considered as an eternal bachelor or Kumar, who focused entirely on discipline and spiritual knowledge. This is utmost possible when in Kundali, Mars is at peak performance, in Yuva Avastha between 12 to 18 degrees in odd signs and 0 to 6 degrees in even signs. Also possible based on certain aspects like that of Jupiter or Saturn. One may also become a guru or teacher because of the presence of Guru Tattva granted to you by Lord Kartikeya, which I mentioned earlier when Kartikeya taught Lord Shiva. Hence, if you're attracted and interested in such fields, you may definitely pursue it. All the positive effects of Mars are usually manifested into physical reality beginning from the age of 28. All the Manglik tendencies when it comes to marriage also are negated when marriage is holded till the age of 28. Now let's come to the concept which is not often discussed, that is when Jupiter aspects this position from 5th, 7th or 9th from LAGNA, or Jupiter is in LAGNA itself. When such a position is there, the Guru Tattva binds with the Agni Tattva in the LAGNA, activating Sushumna Nadi and Kundalini awakening way faster. However, this carries a huge risk of burning your entire nervous system. Therefore, it is suggested that if you have such a placement, you must not practice any intense pranayam like Kapalbhati or Bhasrika without the guidance of a guru. Note that this is only applicable when there is no aspect of Saturn from anywhere and moon is weak for a person. But if Saturn or Ketu is aspecting this position from 3rd or 10th house, or Saturn is in conjunction with Jupiter and the person has a strong, calm mind, that is, your moon is in a good condition, this awakening happens over a period of time, say 20 to 25 years, gradually letting the people handle it properly without the burnout scenario. People who have this particular conjunction may face insomnia, high blood pressure, ringing in ears, irrational fears, or even literal fevers. Now, anyone who wants to understand if Mars in LAGNA is working in favor or if going out of hand should check their tongue. The tongue will develop a thick white or yellow coating despite good hygiene, which is indicative of excess pitta in the brain. An uncontrollable urge to crack your neck or jaw constantly, again Mars is disrupted and needs grounding. If you have hypersexual thoughts that feel like an escape or just like a shortcut for relief, not emotional, Mars is not getting right energy outlets. These issues may seem like they are nothing, but in long run you will understand that it is important to balance life. Planets are indicative of your lifestyle aspects only. You should practice a whole food, raw and cooling diet. Avoid red chilies and many problems of life and body will automatically resolve. Align your sleeping position to north-south and see how your sleep quality will improve. As the sleep improves, anger will also stay in control and so will your impulsive decision making. You are the perfect candidate for Bhakti Yoga, as Bhakti Yoga involves actions dedicated to the Lord. Since you are an action-oriented person, any action with good intent done towards your Ishtadev will give you endless blessings, health and vitality. Those who have Mars in LAGNA will notice huge success if they practice Hanuman Chalisa on Tuesdays, observe fast on Tuesdays, and also sing Vishnu Sahasranam. Any prayer of Lord Narasimha or Kartikeya or mantra chanted before any journey will negate the effects of 8th house or sudden injury or accident which you are prone to. Before beginning any journey, chant the Narasimha mantra and it will protect you. The mantra will also protect you from those who are your hidden enemies and project onto you or have an evil eye, intentionally or unintentionally. You possess literally all the good qualities in you which anyone would want, from a magnetic personality to great health. If you only master your temper, you become unstoppable. Your soul has chosen the fastest, most difficult path to enlightenment, and therefore you need to learn to control that fire inside you. If you don't, you become your own worst enemy. I hope this resonated with you. If yes, please do let me know in the comments. Do let me know what is your take. Soon I will post Mars in every sign and you can conjoin this video and that one and understand in depth. Do like, subscribe and share with those in need. Until then, Hare Krishna.